The scripture that God has brought to my mind about the petty, it's in the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 9, which says, "After these things I looked, and behold, a great multitude which no one could number, of all nations, tribes, peoples, and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, with palm branches in their hands." And verse 10 says, "And crying out with a loud voice, saying, Salvation belongs to our God, who sits on the throne, and to the Lamb."
Ever since we've got back from Africa, I've had the desire to go back and just to get more involved in missions.
I have been ready to get back to Africa.
Being able to come back to Africa and actually see the people that we've been praying for the past 2 years.
It was a tremendous excitement for me to finally get here.
Just being able to walk through the village, see the children, see the different people.
We went out prayer walking one evening, and in the midst of that prayer walk, it was as if the floodgates opened and the people came from everywhere.
We were able to spend some time with the children. All we needed was a Frisbee, and we just started throwing it in the front yard.
We had the opportunity to attend a funeral. We went to the family's house where they were holding the service.
They started with 1, and then 2, and then 5, 10.
We then went to the grave site where the burial occurred, and then we came back and shared a meal with the family.
And the last day, I think there was 30 to 40 kids right in the front yard, all telling us how much they enjoyed us being there, how much they wanted us to stay.
We had an elderly gentleman come up to us, come to find out that was the chief of the village.
They're hungry. They're looking for whoever will really truly spend time with them.
We later that afternoon went to the chief's house, and we had an opportunity just to talk with him.
The kids told me that they would go home and tell their parents that we were there, what we were doing, that they enjoyed being with us.
And after we had shared, he said, "I want what you have told me, I want my family to hear."
Sometimes we have to go through, even in our churches, we have to go through the children to be able to get to the parents.
And so he brought his grandchildren back in, and we were able to share with his grandchildren.
Hopefully something that was said to the children, that they would take it home and share it with their parents.
And then he looked at us and he said, "I want you to go now to one of my son's house." And he took us to one of his son's houses, and we were able again to share Christ.
Maybe through something that we planted on this vision trip, they'll be able to go back and harvest.
We have seen such a God-sized task.
There's just a huge amount of work that needs to take place here.
If churches will avail themselves to come on board and to be stretched and to be taken outside of their comfort zone, you will see and experience things that you could never imagine in the name of the Lord.
He's laid out all the groundwork, so we just have to avail ourselves to go.
We must continue to pray. We must continue to prepare ourselves. We must be ready. We have as much work to do in our Jerusalem, in our Judea, in our Samaria, but we can never forget about the uttermost parts of the earth.
You need to get ready, because the petty are waiting on you.